more than I speak. Even more interesting, whenever I give a talk, it helps people. They always compliment me and say, Swami, what a refreshing talk you have given me. It's a great opportunity for me. We are going to discuss today a not very well-known topic. Perhaps some of you have gone through. And at the same time, it is one of the most poetical, one of the most philosophical, as someone had put it, Advaita in a nutshell. It's a difficult topic, but I will try to express as simply as possible. Before we go into this topic, certain fundamentals have to be cleared. Some of you, of course, that includes me, Swami Dayatmananda and all others, we have been in this spiritual life for so many years. We are going on reading, meditating on scriptures, studying the scriptures, discussing the scriptures, listening to the scriptures. After some time, surely some of us would be questioning, what am I gaining through all this? Even meditation. Is there a God? And where is the need for a God? Can I not live without a God? In a sense, what it means is, can I not live without a spiritual life? The categorical answer is no. You may not call it a spiritual life, but we are all seeking only spiritual life. And even when we are attending the satsangas, you understand the word satsanga, holy company. Even for many, many years, satsanga for many years. Sometimes we may not find visual progress, but definitely there would be an invisible but progress nevertheless. Sometimes we do not understand this. Holy Mother, our Holy Mother, put it so beautifully. One devotee complained, I do not seem to make any progress in spiritual life. He said, my child, supposing you are sleeping on a cot, and when you are sleeping, someone removes your cot to a totally different place. Would you know it when you were sleeping that you were removed from the place you were? So what is the new place? In life, a new place is always a better place, a more progressive place. It's very important for us to understand this fact. No one can remain static. The word static is only a word in imagination. There is nothing static in this world. If I ask you, as a simple example, this watch, is it static? Don't look at it this way, look at it this way. Because this way it is moving a little bit, isn't it? This way. It appears to us like that. But if you ask a physicist with an electronic microscope, what do you think that person would see? Do you think, is there anything static? Everything is moving at mind-boggling speed. There are two lessons we have to learn, including the scientist. First of all, there is nothing static. Everything is moving, Shakti, energy. Second point is, when we can see through an electronic microscope, we can never see any difference between living and the non-living, human being, non-human being, man and woman. There is no difference at all. Everything is reduced to one state. What is that? Energy. Energy means movement. Energy means movement. If there is something, there is nothing which is not moved. There is only one thing which doesn't move. That is Brahman. Nishkriya, Nirguna, Nirakara. That's why never pray to Brahman. Never ever pray. I don't know whether Swami Dayatmananda taught you that fact. Do not pray to Brahman because it doesn't have ears, Ashrota. Doesn't have a mind to decide what to do. Doesn't have a mouth to say what it would like to say, if at all it had a mind. So never pray. It is not going to listen. But that concept is beyond our imagination. So what is the point we are making? What is the first point? Everything is in a state of movement, moving. Secondly, if we take the example of an escalator, they are going up, and do you have a choice to go back? Where it is taking us, we have to necessarily go. You know, surely, escalators. Some of you I know, very intelligent. Swami, you are only talking an escalator going up. What about the escalator going down? Fortunately, we are not on the escalator going down. The escalator going down, it has started from God and has gone down. There is no place for it to go down further. That is called involution. Now we are on the other escalator, which has started from the very bottom. 84 lakh janma bolte hai na. 84 lakh. I am not sure they got the figure right. I think it is much more than that. We are going on an upward movement. Even biologists recognize it, and they gave it a name. What is the name? Evolution. Evolution is never to go down, but always to go up. So even if we do not cooperate, the example, analogy of the escalator is very good. Escalators, they write, stand on the right, walk on the left. If you are at leisure, just stand. And when do you prefer to stand? When there is a heavy baggage. But if you wish to walk and reach your departure gate is quite further away, then 2 points. First of all, reduce your luggage. That is called detachment. Second point is walk. You may even run also. That would be wonderful. Even an escalator which is going up also, you can run. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, there are 2 categories of sadhakas, aspirants. One type of sadhaka, say, Chalti ka naam gaadi hai. It's moving, it's fine. Jab hoga, tab hoga. When it happens, it happens. But the other persons are in a hurry. Such type of persons, they are endowed with intense yearning. And not that they are very special. We also would fall into that category. The people who have intense yearning, they were not born especially. They were also like the other people through many births. And in this birth they learned that if we want to escape the sufferings of the world, we will have to hurry up, catch up. People are hurrying up nowadays, people have no time. Sri Ramakrishna was born in Bengal, because Bengali culture is a very special culture. This is Morar Shamaini. There is no time for me to die. They are always in a hurry. So, coming back to our subject, we are progressing in spiritual life because something goes inside and brings about a great, transformation. It always happens. But we do not recognize. Non-recognition of progress doesn't mean stopping of progress. Let me illustrate it. Supposing you have a car in your garage and you tied it with 100 chains, and one day you need to take out the car. What would we do? You have to remove the chains first. So imagine you removed the first chain. Would the car move forward? Go on removing the chains. 50 chains you removed. Would the car move forward? 99 chains you removed. Would the car move forward? Only when we remove the 100th chain, then the car will move forward. Is that right? Yes. Now, is there no difference between removing the first chain and the 50th chain and the 99th chain? You mean to say, why not I remove the 100th chain? That's not possible. There was this fellow who was suffering from a rare disease. Only 1 in 100 survived, according to statistics. He went to many doctors, but they all said, we can't cure you. There is no guarantee. Then he went to another doctor. The doctor said, certainly, I guarantee you, you will be cured. A patient, he said, how are you so sure? Every other doctor told me that the chances of survival are very slim, only 1 in 100. The doctor said, that is why I am telling. People suffering from same disease that you are suffering from, 99 of them had already died. You are the 100th one. So you see, until we remove all the chains, we are not going to go forward. And we are removing by the grace of Thakur, by the grace of Mother, by the grace of Guru. The progress depends upon only the kripa of one. It is said in this very stotra we are going to discuss, to make progress, especially in spiritual life, we need the grace of 4. Ishvara, God; Shastra, scripture; Guru, our teacher. And by the grace of God, we all have these 3 already. But one more grace is needed, which is very important. What is that? Atma Kripa. Not Vedantic Atman, but Mayik Atman. My own mind. Grace of my own mind. So that is where the difference between one and the other comes in. So what is the point? We are all living here. And we all suffer from one disease. There is no distinction in this disease. We are all suffering. Swamis also suffer. Devotees are also suffering. What is the disease? It is called ignorance. Ajnana. Ajnana is not having knowledge. The word ajnana has two meanings. Suppose I ask you, do you know such and such a person? You never heard even about him. You would say, no, I do not know anything about. When something about which we do not know at all, in one sense we say, no, I do not know about that. In the other sense, I know, but my knowledge is incomplete knowledge. Incomplete knowledge is always wrong knowledge. And the greatest of such wrong knowledges is we lack knowledge of our own self. So what is life meant for? Only one. Removal of ajnana. I want to know. What is wrong, Swami? I am fine. Life is going on well. I have enough money, good family, everything is there. Even when everything is all right, we are suffering from the effect of ignorance. But the nature of the effect of this ignorance is mysterious. We do not even know that we are suffering from the effect of this ignorance. If we know that we are suffering, we would be like people who recognize my house is on fire and I am here. I have not even opened the doors and windows. Any moment the fire may engulf me. We are thinking, I am safe, absolutely. But unconsciously, we are all suffering from the effects of this ignorance. In fact, we do not know what is really knowledge. Similarly, we also will never know what is called ajnana. We only know by the effects. Once a Swami was giving a talk. He said, do you see this electricity? We never see electricity. What do we see? Effects of the electricity. The light is there, the heating is there, air conditioner is there, or fan is running on. The effects of the electricity is there. Then he added, if you want proof that electricity exists, go and touch a live wire. And you will not know. We will know. So, we will never know about ajnana. You must be familiar, both Hindus, non-Hindus, Indians, non-Indians. We are all, and so somebody asked, Swami, a Christian especially came. Swami, I am so impressed by your talk. Are you a Christian? I said, yes, we are Ram Christians. Better than being Christians. So we all know these words, ajnana. But the very nature of ajnana is we will never know it. Because if you know, there would be no ajnana at all. There is one very great Swami, Dayananda Saraswati. He used to tell, what is this? Not knowing the ajnana or ignorance. There are two states, or let me put it, each living being passes through three states every single day from birth to death, each one of us. Surely you know that. Waking state, dream state, and dreamless state or sleeping state. When we are in the waking state, we are called wakers. When we are in the dream state, we are called dreamers. When we are in the sleeping state, we are called sleepers, not the Russian sleepers. I will not go into it, it will take a long time. Russians want to plant future spices. So they send some Russian loyal citizens here. And sometimes 2 generations, they would be absolutely model citizens. But the aim is to train their grandchildren to be spies. They are called sleepers. How intelligent, So supposing we are all going through these 3 states every single day. Don't think there are only 3 states. There are other states also. For example, waking sleep. Yeah, when I'm giving a talk, some of you go through that state, waking, sleeping state. Daydreaming state. It is not waking, it is not dreaming, but it's in between state. You are some consciousness, and at the same time you are also indulging yourself freely in some unrealistic imaginations. Okay. Regarding waking state alone, we can say, I am aware of time, space, and causation. But regarding the other 2 states, you can never use the present tense. You can only use past tense. You can never say, I am sleeping. You always have to say, I was sleeping. So this Swami Dayananda Saraswati gave a beautiful example. If you do not believe my word, you take a watch and try to note down at which exact second you fall asleep. Are you with me? Okay, coming back to our point. We are all suffering from the effects. Sometimes it takes time, Every action, every state has its own effect. Recently I discovered, doctors were very good to me, to you also. My doctor told me, Swami, you are very sweet. Even my instrument is recognizing your sweetness. Too much sweetness leaves bitter aftertaste. So please reduce your sweetness. And I informed my devotees, henceforward, I would not like to increase my sweetness. And what a side effect it has. What a side effect. Previously they used to work 3 hours, 4 hours to make me sweeter. Now they have 3, 4 hours extra time to sleep. Everything in this world has a effect and side effect. We are all interrelated through action and reaction. God alone knows when it started. What is the biggest effect of ajnana? You know what is it? Fear. We all suffer from fear. And you may think, no Swami, I am not fearful. I am sitting here so nicely and enjoying your talk. Hopefully, I hope that you are all enjoying my talk. Even though I may be saying myself. But we are all beset by fear. What is the fear? You know, fear stems from two causes. Any fear, if we analyze, stems from two effects, two causes. What is those causes? One is that what we have, we would lose. It could be childhood, it could be wealth, it could be health, it could be age, youth. Yes, how much fear it is. Or beauty. People, what they do not do to make up appearances. Appearances, you know, I'm not younger any longer, but I would like to appear to be younger to you. What for? Because you are also appearing younger to me only. We are trying to deceive. Nobody is deceived. Every one of us know inside, and previously we had better knowledge. We know who is younger and who is older. Now it is so colored, very difficult to know who is young and who is old. I have to tell you some funny story, you know. Not too many, not like last time. A circus came to a town. And they had various animals, exotic animals like bears and tigers. So one day, one fellow who looked a little bit like a bear, he was just wondering, he was a poor man, he could not afford even the ticket. He was loitering outside. So suddenly this circus manager approaches me, would you like to have some job? I said, certainly. What is the job? I think, you know, last night our bear died, so we skinned it out. And then you have, all that you need to do is put on the skin and now and then growl at the visitors that come. You will be paid well. So gladly he agreed, went into the cage, and he was very happy. He was earning money. All that he needed to do is, you know, just lie down and now and then growl. What was his next to his cage was the tiger's cage. Suddenly, at about midnight, when the visitors were out, the door between these two cages flew open and the tiger jumped. This fellow was now said, what is the stupid thing I have done? He was almost having a cardiac attack. Suddenly the tiger bent down and said, shh, don't worry. You see, we are all pretending everything is well with me and everything is well with you, but we are beset with the fear. But what happens after some time? We become accustomed to this fear. Not that we do not feel the fear, but we learn to live with the fear, and in that process we ignore what needs to be done. That is why Bhagavad Gita, I have been hearing to Swami's talk. I was very much impressed yesterday's Swami's talk, especially with one particular point he made. But unfortunately the weather god had deceived me. Once he was supposed to give a talk and it was rainy. Swami thought, rainy day, people will not come. But Swami Sarvagatananda told him, who knows, rainy day more people may turn out because they have nothing else to do on a rainy day. They can't enjoy anywhere else. So they thought, at least let us go and kill some time to the Swami's talk. And it turned out to be true. So today morning, yesterday after hearing, I thought, no chance, because it is bright sunlit sunlight. Today morning, my hopes soared very high. Now I am quite happy because by the time the sunlight came out, you are already in. So we are all beset by fear. So the Bhagavad Gita tells us, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. You already have gone through in the 13th chapter. Janma, birth is painful. Jara, old age is painful. Then disease, Vyadhi, that is painful. Then so many pains are there. So this is one cause of fear, is that what we already have, we would lose. The second cause of fear is that we may not get what we aspire to. We have so many hopes. If I do not have this, I may have, by the grace of God, yet next year or after some time. It is this hope which sustains us all the time. We are all suffering from this greatest disease called fear. And there is a law. There is a law. What is the law? If something is ours, it can never be lost. And if something can be lost, it can never be ours. You may keep for aeons together, but a time will come, if it is not ours, it will be lost. Better recognize that now. And this leads us to one of the important points. We use the word Atma. Every Swami, every Vedantic book, everything, everyone uses the word, you are the Atman, thou art that. In fact, that is the subject matter of this Stotram. And surprisingly, very few of us have an idea, define what do you mean by Atman. Really speaking, you cannot define it. Definition is limitation. Definition is duality. We all know it, but let me illustrate it. You are sitting, men and women. How do the men know that they are men? Suppose there are no women at all in this world, only men. Would they know that they are men? Are women, only women in this world. Imagine, it is not possible, reality, but imagine, would we know? Suppose it is daytime, 24 hours day. Would we know that it is day? So we need something else in difference to which, in contrast to which, we know this is not that, and that is not this. This is how we identify an object. The book is not a table, man is not a woman, light is not darkness, life is not death, etc. This is how we know, and if the contrast is absent, we would not know. That is why the Atman necessarily had to be defined as Neheti, Neheti, not this, not this. Now, coming back, what is the simplest way of understanding what is Atman? What is Atman? Negate everything through language of which you can say, this is mine. M-I-N-E. This is mine. Whose book is this? My book. If it is my book, I am not the book. I have a house. So I say, this is my house. No one would ever say, this is me. If we have a car, say, I have a car. No one would say, I am the car. It's dangerous to say I am a car. Because it's not only house. We may have a donkey also. I have a donkey. You get the point? I and mine are completely different. They can never be one. That's why language is very, very precise. I and mine are totally different. One is a nominative case, another is an objective case, or possessive case, instrumental case, dative case, locative case. That's why language has come to be very precise. I and mine can never be same. Now negate of whatever you can think, mine. But how many things can you negate? The universe is almost not infinite but uncountable. Therefore, we have a simpler way. There are only two instruments. There are only two instruments through which we interact with the world, what we call the world. What are they? Body and mind. So we say, this is my mind, this is my body. Negate the body. I say my body, my head. Though we get confused. How are you? Not good. What's the matter? My head is aching. What did I say in the beginning? I am not well. What did I say second time? My head is aching. I am getting confused here because of the closeness. So also, I have a son, I have a daughter, and my son is not doing well, so I am not happy. Similarly with the mind, I am angry. You are not angry, you are not anger, but you have identified yourself with the mind. The whole yoga system, I don't know, Swami Dayatmananda. I don't know whether he has taken Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Very beginning itself, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is separation from the chitta vrittis. Then what happens when you have completely separated all the mental modifications, means completely from the mind? Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Then you remain as yourself. At other times, vritti sarupyam itaratra. Whatever thought comes, we become that thought. What is yoga? Separation from any kind of mental modification. Not suppression, but separation. Suppression means you are still. What are you doing when you are suppressing? With whom are you dealing? I am suppressing. What a great effort you have to do. It is an interesting subject in itself. I am sure Swami had dealt with it. Inaction is the most difficult thing. What are you doing? I am not doing anything. How much effort you are putting not to do anything? How much effort you are putting not to fall into sleep? Especially Swami is giving talks, at that time, there is a likelihood of your going to sleep. You know why? Because monotonous voice is one. And if you have heard any Swami's talks, 10 or 15, after that you can even predict more or less with accuracy what the next sentence is going to be. Anybody, even Ranganathananji or anybody, because there are only so many ideas. So what is the point we are discussing now? If we want to know what is Atman, then eliminate that word mine totally. And after eliminating mine, what remains? That is Atman. Is that point clear? Think over it. Because that is called Atman. So what is this Atman? You cannot say about it. Because there is no comparable thing about it. You can't say how many Atmans are there. If there are two, they are comparable. Small, big, and fat and thin. And then what is called weighable and non-weighable, colored and non-colored. So many types will come. But if there is one Atman, how are you going to describe it? No, that's not possible. Now, what is the point we are discussing? We are all suffering from a disease called Ajnana. Ajnana means only one. I do not know who I am. And so long as I do not know who I am, what is the definition of Ajnana here? Not ignorance in the sense of I don't know anything, but in the sense of mistaking who I am really. And what is the mistake? There is only one possibility. If I do not know who I am, then I always think what? I am not. This is the point. If I do not know what I am, then I always mistake only two possibilities, me and everything else. If I do not know this is me, then what is the other mistake? There is no other choice. The only choice is to mistake myself with what I am not. What I am not. And the moment I make that mistake, I have fear. You know, we use a word home. Home is a word, beautiful word. Manachalo nija niketane. Oh mind, let's go to our own home. Swami Vivekananda. We all have to go home. Where is our home? God. Our home is God because we have come from God. And our escalator, evolution, is taking us back to home, whether we cooperate or not, inevitably. If we cooperate, our journey will be little more faster and pleasant. And if we do not, fast to track. By our hair, God will pull us up. That is called suffering. Suffer. Beautiful word. We all suffer. What is this world called? Samsara. In Bengali, samsaro. Saro. Samsari. Sorry. You want to be a samsari and not to be sorry. That's an impossibility. And the samsari means one who is in a worldly person is called samsari. It's an English word, not a Sanskrit. Samsari. Yeah. And so many singers are there. So many people start the musical life. They are all sari people. I call them sari people. Sari. Their education stops there. They do not proceed any further. Sari people. So, when we do not know who we are, and when we know who we are not, we are first, what is the first point? We can never become who we are not. We can only remain who we are. However much we may try or imagine ourselves to be what we are not, that is not possible at all. Now, what is the problem in thinking? that I am not what I am not. What is the problem? Problem is that anything that I am not is liable to change. That is why the very word samsara means samsarati. It always moves, jagat gati, always moving. No man steps into the same river twice. Change. Our life is nothing but a series of changes. Childhood to adolescence, to youth, to middle age, old age, disease, then death. Shadvikara. In Sanskrit, Vedantic language, we call it 6 changes. And no one likes changes. Why? Change is uncertainty. You see, change is uncertainty. And none of us can be secure with uncertainty. We use the word security. What does it mean? Security means we are sure something is like that. Supposing there is somebody who is a terrorist, and we know he is a dangerous fellow, he can kill. So long as we know, somewhat we are secure, because we know we can try to escape. But one minute he is a terrorist, another minute he is your greatest friend. What are you going to do? Secure. How much unconsciously we rely. You buy aeroplane ticket, and one day you want to go to UK. So one day it will take you to UK, another day it will take you to Australia, another day it will take you to the other place, to maybe your mother-in-law's place. Would you be very happy with that? Change is the greatest fear, and change is called death. In Sanskrit language, we have a word, kala. Kala means time. Time means change. Time means change. Life changes into death. Happiness changes into unhappiness. Day changes into night. Good changes into evil. Again, evil changes into, but that part we forget. Life changes into death. We are fearful. But if we understand, death also changes into life. Now, one of the most important doctrines of Vedanta is the soul is deathless. Then what is birth and death? Manifestation is called life. Non-manifestation is called death. Manifested, unmanifested thing coming into manifestation is what we call birth. And that which is manifested going back into the state of unmanifestation is called death. Take a simple example. A child goes to the seashore. What does he find on the seashore? Sand. What does he do out of the sand? Castle. What does he see? He finds sand. What does he do with the sand? A castle. So what is a castle? Sand manifested in a particular shape is called castle. You call it birth of a castle in time and in space. And the child's notion is the cause. And after some time, after playing with it, then he kicks it out. Then what does the castle become? What was it even as a castle? Nothing but that. This is a very important point we have to understand. Even from a scientific viewpoint, there is no death. Don't you see? There is no death. This is my introduction to this. These notions are very, very important as an introduction. Then we can proceed very fast. At least I hope so. So, what is life? Manifestation of something in time, space and causation. One simple example I told you. Wave is another example. Wave. What is wave? Nothing but water. If the water is exactly in the same way, you call it water. The wind comes, a breeze comes, then it lifts the water 2 inches. Then what do you call it? Wave. Is there anything else in that wave? Wave, water in particular time, particular space, because of particular reason is what we call wave. And when the time, space and causation subside, then what happens to the wave? Nothing happens. What comes? Time, space and causation. What disappears? Time, space and causation. The wave doesn't become water. The classical example, rope and snake. All the time, even when we are looking at this rope and thinking it is a snake, where is the snake? Where is the rope? Out there, as an example. Where is the snake? Inside our brain. So no point beating the snake there. Beat here. That's what the guru does. That's what the Zen masters, they always keep one danda there. Yeah, so illumination comes. You see light. So this is an important concept. What is it? Birth and death have no real existence, but they are perceptions of the birthless, of the timeless, in time, space and causation. Physically, as I said, a scientist, everything is nothing but manifestation of matter in time, in space and in causation, isn't it? When we are all pasted into matter, do we die? What dies? What really dies? This is a very profound Vedantic reasoning. What is the point I am trying to make? We do not become something else, and we do not become something else again. When we come into birth, it is not that the original matter has become something else. If you understand the example of the wave, did the water ever become something else called some different object called wave? Did the sand become some other different object called castle? Did it become? Or a clay, did it become a different thing called pot? What is the pot all the time? It's nothing but clay only. Then what is the difference? Clay seen through the glasses of time, space and causation appears to be a pot, an ornament, a castle, a wave, etc., etc. What is the point we are making? Did you get the point? Something has never become something else, and that something else again never became its original self. What is the important point? The infinite would never become finite. The changeless would never become change. Now here is an important law. Whatever is one's nature, it can never change. We already discussed a little bit. Let us put it with some illustration. Suppose you want to have mango fruits. Which seed would you buy? Mango seed, naturally. If you want apple, you would buy apple seed. Because apple seed or mango seed, what is its changeless nature? Mango seed will produce only mango fruit. Suppose it changes its mind and say, let me become neem seeds. Then life becomes very uncertain. You cannot live. So, what is the important point? No one can change one's nature. So, if the changeless changes its nature, the changeless nature of the changeless becomes changeful. If it becomes changeful, then what is its nature? What is its nature? Changefulness. And if its nature is changeful, you can never make it changeless. That's not possible. That point we have to always keep in mind. It's a beautiful Zen Buddhism, a beautiful story. So there was one Zen master and he trained many of his students. One of his students, he was running a Pizza Hut. So one day the master, even Zen masters like pizzas. You should not have any illusions about it. Yeah. So he went to the Pizza Hut and ordered a pizza. It was supplied, took out $10, gave it to his own student. Pizza was only costing $7.50. The master was waiting for the change. But the student was sitting, smiling. Smiling is a very effective weapon. Do you know that? Yeah, there was this grouchy fellow citizen who was grumbling, paying his taxes. So somebody who observed it said, every good citizen must pay his taxes with a smile. He said, I tried it, but the damned fellow wants cash only. So the student was not paying the change. Then the master was forced to ask, hey, what about the change? And he said, Master, it was only you who taught that the change must come from within oneself. So, this is an important law. Whatever is one's nature, that nature can never be changed. So, if it is true that matter is birthless and deathless, then whatever manifestations the matter may appear into, they can never be really, there can be no birth or death. Even scientists accept there is no birth or death, and yet all of us are beset with this terrible fear called death. Death means what? Death comes only once in life. The great Shankara so marvelously analyzed, and there are two types of death, of which we are only aware of one. When this body falls ultimately, what we call physical death, that's when we say, oh, this is death. What about every millisecond is a death? The child dies so that the adolescent can come. The adolescent dies so that it can become the youth. The seed dies so that the seedling can come. The seedling dies so that it can become a plant. The plant dies so that it can become a tree. And the tree dies so that it can become a seed. Where is death? It is a change. And if it is change, then the nature must be changeable. What is the nature of changeability? Time. What is time? Is it an object? What is space? Is it an object? What is time? We observe the sun was here, and we then look up and then say it is, say, 1 foot high. This observation from this point to this point, we call it time and space. It was here and now it appears to be there. Now 6 o'clock, it was here. Now 7 o'clock, it is here. This measurement of change is called time. And time and space are always combined together. What is this world? Desha, Kala, Kalana. It is nothing but the infinite looked at through the prism of time, space and causation. Another name for time, space and causation is called mind. And the mind functions through the five sense organs. So, when your eyes are looking, what are you looking at? Through the Divine Lord. You are looking only at the Divine Lord, but you have limited your experience because you are looking through the prism of the eyes. Then how do you see? What is the function of the eye? What is the function of the eye? Color. Speciality of the eye, what is it? Color. When you experience the divine through your ear, how do you experience it? Sound. When you experience through the nose, smell. Then taste. Then touch. Pancha indriya, five sense organs. That is why the world has another name. We all know it. You know what is that name? Prapancha. Pancha means Prapancha means the divine experience through the limitations of five sense organs is called Prapancha. As simple as that. Another important point. Now when we see something through the eyes, this is what we see. The word see has got two meanings. One is perception of the colors. Second is understanding. When I tell you, when I make a point, what do you say? I see. What do you mean by that? I understand. Another is, you look at me, oh Swami looks like this. This is called seeing. See. What is the point I am trying to make? Whether we experience God through the eye or ear or whatever, what enters to the mind, because the eye doesn't have the function of understanding. You have to understand that. The nose doesn't have the understanding. Understanding belongs to whom? To the mind. So what are all these? It is like 5 recorders. You know, you are familiar with video recorder? Video, how many does it record? Audio and visual. But this recorder has got 5. It is a, I don't know what name you call it, 5-channel video recorder. Sight, sound, smell, taste and touch. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. What is the point I am making? This is but nothing but information, digital. That's why, you know, science, audio, digital. Digital means digit, 0 and 1, nothing else. If you know 0 and 1, you have all the knowledge in this world. Nothing else. So even that smell that comes is nothing but digital information. This taste also is digital, but there is a decoder in the mind. All this information, nothing but information. What is the information meant for? To know what is it we are experiencing. To know what is it we are experiencing. Say, you are looking at me, and you are looking at me, and what are you? What is your digital recorder doing? Recording. And it is processing. Processing what? Information. And what does that information do? It tells you, here is an object. That object, as different from the other objects, is called a Swami. Understand? Swami. Why? Because suppose 5 of us are sitting here, and all 5 of us are wearing exactly the same clothes, not this orange cloth, ochre cloth, Will you say that a Swami is there? A person is there. You see what is the point I am making? You are specially separating, oh, Swami is speaking. Interesting things happen, all five in secular dress. And he is giving a talk. What is this fellow? Blah, blah, blah. Is going on and on and on. But if the same fellow puts on the ochre cloth and comes and says, wow, what a marvelous talk. What is this blah, blah business, Swami Ranganathananji, one of our greatest orators, he came. And he was an excellent orator, superb orator. So he was trying to explain Purnamadaha Purnamidam. That is perfect, that is full, this is full. Whole hour about this. A perfect stranger walked in and he was mesmerized. So he could not wait to go out to his friends and said, what a marvelous talk Swami had given. So what did he talk about? Oh, he was talking about this and that. You see the point. See, if a secular, you have the idea, secular people should not talk on spiritual subjects. But you have also a wrong idea. Spiritual people can talk on any secular subject. I can never understand this. Two boys, after school, they were walking down. And they were boasting to each other. My mother, she can speak on any subject. The other person said, that was nothing. My mother can speak on no subject. So you see what the point I am making is, if that fellow goes on talking blah blah Purnamadaha Purnamidam, this fellow never understood what he is talking. So he says it's blah blah because he is not in the ochre cloth. But if a person with an ochre cloth comes and talks exactly the same thing, what a marvelous talk. I couldn't understand head or tail of what he is talking about. It is exactly the same talk. Perceptions. Coming back to our subject, through our five sense organs, whatever we perceive, what is it? It is what we call prapancha, world. What are its characteristics? First of all, I perceive it as something different from me. It is outside me, separate from me, outside me, and because it is outside me, because I am here and the other object also is there, therefore, by necessity, it must be finite. What are the 3 points? It is separate from me, otherwise I can never experience. Experience always means knowing something which is separate from me. And it is outside me, because if it is inside me, it is me. But it is outside me. Third point, since I am there and the object is there, neither I am infinite nor the object is infinite, because I limit that object and that object limits me. See the Maya. Now, go further. What I said, that whenever we perceive God, what we perceive is nothing but God, but because we have chosen to perceive through an instrument. An instrument is always limited. We know that. I am going to reveal a secret to you. But don't repeat it, don't tell to any other Swami, because he will use it again without giving me credit. Here I am very conscious of what is called rights management. See, if you want to see a far distant object, you need a special instrument. You know what is it? Telescope. If you want to see a very minute object, you need another instrument. What is it? But if you want to understand what the Swami is talking about, you need another instrument. Do you know what is that? Telescope, microscope, you need Vedanta scope. If you do not have Vedanta scope, you have no scope of understanding what the Swami is going to talk about, head or tail, blah, blah, it will be, or it is so deep. Either way, what is Vedanta scope? It's not funny thing. What is it? If we want to understand an object exactly as it is, I must become that object. So long as I remain separate, even by a billionth micrometer distant, that my knowledge will be limited to that extent. If I want to have 100% knowledge of that object, what is the condition? I must become that object. This is the subject matter of Vedanta. What is it? Tat Tvam Asi. Now, why do we fear? I said, what is it? Fear comes from two factors. What is this? What is the first factor? We lose what we have. What is the second factor? We may not get. Now look at it. If I am everything, what do I lose? If I am everything, what do I expect to get? See how wonderful it is. There is nothing because I am everything. If I am everything, there is nothing I can lose. There is nothing I can ever expect to get, because all that is there I am having now. Now, as I said, what is the fear? That fear is always produced because of separatedness. Separatedness always is divided by three factors. How does separatedness come? Only by three factors. What are those three factors? Time, space. You are. Where are you? I am here. You are there. I am now here. You may not be there now. Or you may not be there after one hour. You were not there perhaps yesterday. See, this fear, time and space and causation, it is this which separates one object from the other. Remove these three. That's what happens in deep sleep. What happens in deep sleep? Time doesn't function. Space doesn't function. Causation doesn't function. Therefore, time, space, causation are removed, and therefore there is no separation between me and anything else. And therefore, there were no desires, there was no fear. See what a wonderful thing. Every day we are experiencing it. What is the problem? Problem is, deep sleep is not within our control. If we can somehow master that secret by which 24 hours a day we can be in deep sleep consciously. What did I say? 24 hours. That would be a wrong expression, because when we are in deep sleep state, there is no 1 hour or 24 hours. Just a small correction of misunderstanding. So you go to bed at night, 10 o'clock, get up at say 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you had very good sleep, and then when somebody asks, so how long did you sleep? You say, oh, I slept 5-6 hours. Usually that's what we answer. Is that a correct answer? Or you are measuring time in your deep sleep. The perception of time came with your wakefulness. So you are measuring the deep sleep from which point of view? From the waking point of view. Do you get the point? The point is, in deep sleep, there is no perception of time, space and causation. That is why it is so blissful. I did not know anything. I slept extremely well. Now, more or less certain ideas, introductory ideas we have. What is it? We all suffer from a disease called ajnana. Ajnana means not complete ignorance. We can never experience complete ignorance. Do you know why? See, if something exists, I experience. You are existing, therefore I experience you. But I don't experience your horn. Do you experience my horn? Why? Because I am hiding it under my cap. Because it's not there. What is the point? Non-existence cannot be experienced. When we say ignorance, that means wrong understanding. It's called adhyasa. Mistaking one thing for something else. The effect of ajnana is fear. Imperfection. You see, imperfection. Who is perfect? I want to live forever. Who wants to die? I want to know everything. Once I was talking like that, somebody said, no, I don't want to know anything. I said, do you have money in stock market? He said, yes, Swami. He was not very willing to admit it, because to admit it to a Swami means only one thing, one-way traffic. If you admit it to your friends, it's a different issue. But if you admit it to a Swami, only he may ask for it. So, I asked, would you not like to know what the stock market would be like tomorrow? Or he said, yes, Swami, I would definitely like to know. We all would like to know, because whether there would be any accident, whether there would be any profitability, or would I meet someone whom I love, or is there any chance of avoiding somebody who is threatening to come and meet me? How many problems we go through. But if I am not having ajnana, then how many existences are there? Only one. If there is only one, whom do I escape from? Whom do I expect to meet? Escaping and expecting. Yeah. This is what we do. What do we do? So these two ideas, escaping and expecting. These are our demons with which we have to fight. So for accomplishing this, we make appointments and we make setups. So if we do not, sometimes we are disappointed, sometimes we are upset. So Swami Chinmayananda used to say, if you have no appointment, you will not have disappointment. If you have no setup, you will never have any upset. Wonderful. We had a very nice time. Now, with this background, please keep all these points in mind. So, ajnana produces an effect. That effect is fear. Fear means that we lose what we have and then we do not get what we expect. And so long as we live in a world of duality, it is impossible. But what we wish to have security, security means permanent changelessness. And permanent changelessness, is it possible? Yes, our scriptures tell, our logic tells, our experience also tells. Shastra tells us, Nyaya, logic tells us, Anubhuti, our experience also tells us how it is. We will just deal with that. And one more concept, if you remember, Atman. Whenever the scriptures tell us, they tell us about you are divine. Even Bible tells us But what does it tell? That man is made in the image of God. That means you are God-like, divine. But they do not emphasize that point. Also, that the kingdom of God is within you. So, don't search for any kingdom outside, kingdom of heaven. It is always within you. And if we want to enjoy that kingdom, we have to bring about a change. This process of bringing about this change is called sadhana or spiritual practice. And what is the last point? This change must come from within ourselves. No point beating the rope thinking the snake would go away. We have to bring about the change from within ourselves. Any scripture, any guru, any religion, or any spiritual practice must aid us to bring about, to recognize the fact you are already what you are seeking. You are already what you are seeking, whether you follow the path of devotion or meditation or selfless service or the path of knowledge. The ultimate goal is to be fearless. And today we are going Dakshinamurty Stotram. I'll give very brief this thing. You know what is Stotram? Many Hindus know about that. Stotram means a hymn. Stotram means a hymn always. Just a second, let me get my this thing properly. You know Ramakrishna Stotram. Every evening we sing here Khandanava Vandana, Omri Mritam, Sarva Mangala, Guru Stotram. Stotram is a very short poetical composition. Stotra means stuti. Stuti means praising. Usually what we mean is, it is either you can chant it or you can sing also. So, it's a profound significance is there. Vedanta or Vedantic scriptures define a stotram in so many ways. First I will give you the Sanskrit definition. Namaskaraha tada asishaha siddhantoktihi parakramaha vibhutihi prarthana cheti shadvidha stotra lakshana. Every stotra must have 6 characteristics. First is namaskar. You know what is namaskaram? Namaskar or touch my feet. I told our devotee yesterday, she was very happy, she was in ecstasy. Told after 60 you are free from spiritual taxes. That means you need not bend and bow down. Yeah, you don't even need to lift your hands. Just mentally you look upon, you are a good Swami. That is more than enough. You know, sometimes we think you are a bad Swami. If I don't bow down to you, you are going to take it out on me. You think I am a good Swami, that vibration will help me. Namaskara means salutations. Actually speaking, namaskara the word namaha is a very profound word. Namaha means na mama, not mine. Oh Lord, Ramakrishnaya namaha. I take a flower, say Ramakrishnaya namaha. What am I saying? Oh Ramakrishna, this flower is being offered, it is not mine. The flower is not mine. Whose flower is that? It's yours. You gave it. I am only giving it back to you. It's not mine. That feeling, nothing belongs to me, including this body and mind, that is called namaskara. The act of knowing that I have nothing. I am also, as body and mind, nothing. That understanding is called namaskar. So every stotram or hymn should have this. You know, that's why Ramakrishnaya te namaha sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatar varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Namaskara. So I bow down, I respect I respect because respect always comes, respect or reverence, to someone who is greater than me. We never do namaskaram to people who are lower than us. Always, in some respect, they are higher than us. This is the. Then, every day we sing Khandana Bhavana. Are familiar? Of course, you sing here in English language. Namo, Namo, Prabhu. Namo, Namo, Prabhu. Every day we sing Namo, 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 Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. This is Namaskar. It should be there all the time. Asishaha. Asishaha means blessing. We expect something from them. You bless. We bow down to Swami. Why? Oh, Swami, bless me so that I may also acquire devotion, etc. Bhakta Arjana Yugala Charana Tarana Bhavapar. You bless me so that I can attain to your lotus feet. The hymn, Khandana Bhavavandana. Bhaktarjana Yugala Charana, your two lotus feet. Tarana, why do I bow down? Why do I want those feet? Because they act like a boat, taking me across this ocean of Ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. Really it is, that power is there, I will come to that. But this is the blessing, O Lord, that may I acquire your two lotus feet. Don't pull Swami's legs. I want to acquire your feet. I have to bring a knife and then cut them into two. Swami, I have to tell you that experience, how devotees pull. One day I was standing in our Vedanta center, in our place, UK, and fortunately near a table. One lady devotee came, put her head about 1 foot or 1.5 foot away from my feet with great devotion. Then she caught hold of my feet. Her purpose is that her head should touch my feet. Instead of bringing her head to my feet, she's pulling my legs towards her head. I had to literally catch hold of the table. Bhakta Jana Yogala Charan. O Lord, we pray, O Mother, grant me devotion. Jananim Sharadam Devi. Please grant me. This is the blessing we want. We don't want anything else. Give me devotion so that I can earn your lotus feet. So that if I get your lotus feet, I get everything. You know what is lotus feet? Somebody told me, some Swami told me, very nice. He said it is like getting a blank check from Bill Gates. You can write any amount you want. That is the Divine Mother, Holy Mothers, anything she can give you. I am not joking. Yes. Why? Because the Divine Mother is infinite. What does she lose? Nothing. Even if suppose infinite ocean, if it gives infinity to you, infinite minus infinite, what is it? Yeah, you add something, infinite plus 1, how much? Infinite. Infinite plus infinite, how much? This is what we chant. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avasishyate. We always do that. So this is the Asisha means blessing. Every stotra must have at least some blessing. Then Siddhanta. Siddhanta is what is it that the scriptural statement, scriptural teaching. Every stotra must have some teaching. Namo Namo Prabhu Vakya Mana Atita. O Lord, thou art beyond mind and speech. If thou art beyond mind and speech, then who am I? Just now we discussed, who am I? I am none other than. Namaha means what? I am not. You are only. I am not means you are there. You are Vakyamana Atita. That is the Siddhanta means final conclusion of the scripture. You can't go beyond that. Therefore, O Lord, you are indicating through this hymn that not only if the only reality is God, and if the only reality is God, the whole universe is nothing but that reality. If that the whole universe is that reality, it must be necessarily be Vakya, Mana, Atita, beyond the mind and speech. This is the simple truth. When you destroy the snake, what remains? The rope. The snake is nothing but the rope, nothing else. So that is the scriptural teaching. That is what we have to understand. Then parakrama. Parakrama means must have some valor, power, valor, special power. What is it? Agnan, you say Guru Stotram, you know Guru Stotram. Agnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai sri. It means the Guru has, otherwise why should I bow down? He has the power. What is that power? Parakrama. He can destroy his enemies. And what is it, Gurus? What does he destroy? He destroys the Ajnana. And if he destroys Ajnana, what does he give? No. If Ajnana, darkness is removed, what remains? Darkness remains? When darkness is removed, what remains? So you don't need to give light. You only remove the darkness. And do you see the point? If darkness is what remains, more darkness remains. Is it? Darkness is removed means automatically knowledge is there. When unhappiness is removed, what remains? Yeah. This is simple truth. We have to listen and then make it our own again and again and again. This is the idea. Khandana Bhavana. What is this parakrama? Jnana anjana vimalanayana vikshane mohajay. See, Sri Ramakrishna, when he looks at us, what happens to us? When he looks at us, what happens? I'll give some illustrations to make this point clear. You are in your house, daytime, and there is no window, imagine, it's complete darkness. And you are longing for the sun, not S-O-N, S-U-N. So you come out of it. Then what does the sun God do? He looks at you. When he looks at you, what happens to you? He is of the nature of light. Looking means not really looking. You know, there is a concept which we have to be very clear about it. Suppose I have money. When a poor man comes, I can give money. But suppose I am poor. When a poor man comes, what can I give? I cannot give him. If I have money, then I can give, isn't it? Now, just imagine, it's a wonderful concept. When I part from my money, I am not parting from myself. I have something, what I am not giving myself. What am I giving? I am giving something which I have. The point we discussed, I and what I have are separate things. But supposing the Agni Deva, fire god, is pleased with you. He wants to give something to you. Then what does he do? What does he give you? You become, when he gives you something, you become fire. Is it not? Do you see the difficulty? When the sun wants to give us something, what is the nature of the sun? Light. So when he wants to give something, he gives something belonging to him, or he gives himself. Do you get the point? He has nothing to give, only he can give himself. Therefore, when the sun looks at you, you become lighted. in more ways than one. Not only you can look, when somebody looks at you, then you become visible to that person only because the Surya Deva has given something of his nature to you. Do you see the point? It's a very important point. So, the important point is, if I have money, I can give money. If I have some knowledge, I can give worldly, secular knowledge. Suppose some unhappy person comes to me, says, Swami, make me happy. What can I give? Is happiness something which I have in my bank account? I will give something. So if I want to give happiness to him, what should I give? Give him? I must be happy, not I have happiness. I must be happy. But that's why parents, they go on telling, be truthful. How can you be, if you are not truthful, how can they be truthful? And then they say, be happy, don't worry. You are worried, why he is not worried? Worry. To make him not to worry, you are worried. How can you make him not to worry? Because he is worried that you are worried. If you want to make him free from worry, then what should you become? What is the important point? There are certain things which we can have, we can part. But certain things we can never give to other persons unless we are ourselves that nature. Goodness cannot be given. True knowledge cannot be given. Chemistry knowledge can be given, but true knowledge can be given. Happiness cannot be given. These things cannot be given. Concentration of mind cannot be given. If you are not concentrated, how can you give concentration to other person? If you are restless, have you noticed? Other persons also will become restless in your presence. If you are calm and quiet, others also become calm and quiet. You have noticed that? Yeah. But don't misunderstand. When I am giving Swami, if you don't have sleep when you are giving a talk, how is it possible for us to go to sleep? Don't apply that. That is a separate quality you have all by yourselves. Okay. What are we taking? Gnana Anjana Vimalana. This is the Parakrama. He is Sri Krishna or any form of God, Guru. They have that Parakrama. They can give you Gnana Anjana. Because Sri Krishna is of the nature of knowledge. When he looks at you, he gives himself to you, he enters into you, he becomes you, and therefore you also become a person of knowledge. When you get knowledge, what is the nature of knowledge? It destroys ignorance, and you become a being of knowledge. That is one of the characteristics. Then Vibhuti. Vibhuti means special manifestation, splendor. Bhagavad Gita, Yadyat Vibhuti Matsatvam Srimadurjitameva Tattadeva Avagachatvam Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhav. Whatever splendor you see in this world, somebody can sing, somebody can talk, somebody can make other very nice organizers. Some people can work under other people's supervision. Whenever you see some extraordinary manifestation in any person, anywhere, even a big mountain, a beautiful river, a beautiful tree, that is all manifestation of the divine. So that is why we are Guru. What is the Vibhuti of Guru? The very first verse, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. That is the Vibhuti, their true manifestation. The Stotram must have this in Lalita Sahasranam. Have you heard Lalita Sahasranama? It's a wonderful 1,000 names of the Divine Mother. It's one word, Mithya Jagat Adhishtatri. She is the queen of Mithya Jagat, unreal world. The whole world is unreal, but there is this, what is called the director, the script writer, etc. We will have occasion to come to that. It is the Divine Mother. That is why in Kannada, a song is there. Aparadhinanalla, aparadha enagilla, Neene Jagannataka Sutradhari. Some devotee is singing. He was singing. I am a sinner, I am a useless fellow, I am good for nothing fellow. Please listen to my prayers. Apply, no reply. God was not replying at all. He got very angry and said, why am I a criminal? I am not a criminal. There is no crime. Because you are the writer of the script. You are pulling the strings. I am only acting according to your string. Yeah. This is the truth. The truth is, you say, who is the biggest terrorist? Who is the biggest terrorist? You say, Osama bin Laden. You ask Osama bin Laden, you know what he will say? President? But do you know who is the real terrorist, biggest terrorist? God. Because who is pulling the string of Hitler, Saddam Hussein? Are you pulling? Do you understand? If you believe in God, then who is pulling the strings? Either you say, I don't believe in God, or you say that, I know God is there. Sometimes some strings he pulls, but some other he cannot pull. Is that your idea of God? All strings are being pulled only by him. If he is pulling this, what can this poor bin Laden or even President Bush, what can he do? We have to understand that. Another way of understanding it is, just look at it. Just imagine Osama bin Laden, President Bush, Saddam Hussein, Hitler, these people go to Holy Mother. How would she treat them? Would she give them different types of treatments? What do you think she will do? First thing she will say, you are all my children. So if they are all her children, who is the root cause? If the branches are giving wrong type of thing, fruits are wrong fruits, whom do you blame? Yeah, Swami is going to talk to you, 15th chapter. Urdhvamulam athashakam. What is the root cause of this whole world? So these are all, terrorism is one fruit, is it not? So suppose somebody becomes a saint, to whom do you give credit? To God? Somebody becomes a terrorist, whom should you give the credit? This is the truth. I am not saying to imagine something. If you accept one, you have to accept the other also. That is why, according to Vedanta, evil is not created anybody. Incidentally, one of the biggest problems of ignorance is evil. People don't use the word ajnana, they use the word evil. Evil exists on individual level. Evil means suffering. On the collective level, evil means, tsunamis, earthquakes, world wars, and these dictators killing people, mass killing, genocides, and all this terrible, unimaginable suffering that people are undergoing. Can you close your eyes and say, no evil exists in this world? That's an impossibility. But then, who is the author of this? Can God create? Be honest, put your hands on your heart and say, according to Vedanta, it is God only who is the creator of both the good and the evil. Srishti Sthiti. Every day we sing. Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam Shakti Bhute Sanatane. Do you remember? She is the creator, she is the sustainer, and she is also the great destroyer, Mother Kali. Wow, our devotees, they don't want to give money. When Swami was trying to collect funds were not forthcoming. One day he convened a meeting of all the devotees. He said, I have both bad news and good news. The good news, all the money we needed is already available. The bad news is, it is in your pockets. So do you see the point? Who has created the good? Who created the evil? According to Vedanta, there is only one creator. We don't create a separate devil for taking responsibility. Then who created the devil? The question comes. If God says, I didn't create the devil, that means the devil is as good as God. Is it not a fact? They don't go into that point. But how does Vedanta escape this charge? So we can understand what is good, but we do not understand what is evil. The first point is that there can be no good without evil. Can you understand what is good without evil? That's impossible. Sri Ramakrishna gave 3 answers. This is an important question. Why God created evil or wicked people? He gives 3 important answers. Have you read it? The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It comes. First answer is, that is the very nature of this world. Good and evil. Changefulness, isn't it? Goodness changes into evil. Evil changes into good. This is the truth. There is no absolute good or evil. There are no 2 separate things called good and evil. First answer. The second answer he gave is even more interesting. He says, if there were to be no wicked people in this world, how will you become a saint? How will you get a title? It is only if everybody is a good person, who will give you a title? There must be wicked people. Then only they say, oh, this person is reacting not like wicked people, but something totally different, not even like ordinary people. So wicked people are necessary to make us saints. Don't you understand? You can never be a saint without a wicked person. Now do you want wicked persons or not? If there were to be no wicked persons, you have to pray specially to God, please create some wicked people so that I can become a saint. This is the truth. I am putting it humorously, but that is the real truth if you understand it. Third point he gave. It is only wicked people through whom work is done efficiently. Suppose you are working in an office. Your boss is so good. You go at 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or just 5 o'clock in the evening and put signature and come back. Do you think, suppose he is a good man. He won't say anything. Do you think office will run like that? Even Indian hell, that's why it's good to be Vedantic. Because Vedantic hell is the Indian hell. It is the best hell in the whole universe. Do you know that? You see, one American died and went to hell straight. And he found out there was nobody there. He was the only fellow. One receptionist was sitting there, he was the only fellow. He was surprised. So at least he should have seen President Bush there. He was not there. So he went and asked, so, what happened to all the other fellows? He said, these damned Indians. So they also rented a site. They started this Indian hell. So then he said, what happens in hell? This, you see, first hour, they will put you on a bed of nails and elephants will trample on you. Next hour, they will put you in an electric chair and put the highest voltage. Rest of the time, an American devil comes and beats the life out of you. But life will not go out. Because otherwise you will not suffer, you see. So this is what happens, 24 hours. So he said, so I see other German hell, UK hell. Can I have it? Go and have a chance. He said, yes, pick your choice. So he went to UK hell. Nobody was there excepting receptionist. Same thing. So he asked, what happens here? He said, same thing as American hell. Only difference is a UK devil will come and beat him up. So he went to Italian hell. Same thing. Then he looked. There was a ramshackle office and thousands of people were queuing. Written Indian Health. That too, so many letters are faded letters. So he went there and saw the reception was very busy. He asked just a quick question, what happens here? Exactly same thing happens. Only an Indian devil would come and beat you up. And why so many people? He said, ask others. The clerk was so busy registering their names. So he went and asked somebody else, why are you so eager to come here? He said, Indian hell, if you want to suffer, come and here. Why? Because first of all, they will put you 1 hour on the electric chair. But most of the time electricity doesn't work. The generator. Next hour, they will put you on a bed of nails. Some thieves came and took away everything. And what happens? The Indian devil is suppose he comes only at 12 o'clock and puts his signature and goes home. So Indian hell is most wonderful thing. So 3 reasons why so-called evil God has created. What is that? First of all, it is the very nature. Second is, if one has to develop spiritual qualities only against evil or wicked people. Third answer is, efficiency cannot be done. It is rare to have goodness and efficiency. It is not wicked. Mostly it is selfish, wicked people who are efficient. Okay, coming back. So, Vibhuti. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. This is the Vibhuti, special splendor. Then Prarthana. Prarthana means you pray. Oh Lord, what do we pray? Whenever we chant a Stotram, we have to pray. What do we pray? He Ramakrishna, Tvai Bhakti Hine, Kripa Kataksham, Kuru Deva Nityam. Oh Lord, I do not have devotion. Please bestow upon me devotion at thy lotus feet. Annapurna Ashtakam is there. You know that Annapurna, Nityanandakari. What does it say? Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehicha Parvati. I want Jnana, I want Bhakti, I want Viveka, I want discrimination, I want dispassion, I want spiritual qualities. Prarthana, Vedic Prarthana. Bhadram Karnevhi Shrunuyama Deva. Oh gods, may we see what is auspicious, may we hear what is auspicious. Prarthana, whole life. What is your Gayatri mantra? We meditate upon you. Dhiyo yonaha prachodayat. May you guide my understanding. This is the Prarthana. Stotras also contain sadhana. There's Shankaracharya's Stotram, Kaupena Panchakam. Vedo nityam adhiyatam, taduditam karma nityam anushthiyatam. You must regularly study the scriptures and you must practice what is mentioned there. This is called sadhana krama. Sadhana karna chahiye manuva, bhajana karna chahiye. Oh mind, you have to go on practicing sadhana. That is there in every stotra. Then gunotpatti. We have to acquire good qualities, auspicious spiritual qualities. Swami chanted yesterday, may we have those qualities mentioned in the Upanishads which are conducive to our spiritual progress. May we never deny you. May you never deny me. It means may we never say God doesn't exist. We'll come to that point. This is called Gunotpatti. Khandana Bhavandana, Vanchana Kama Kanchana. We should not have attachment to lust and gold. Vanchana Kama Kanchana. Tyageshwara. You are the emperor of Renunciation means what? May I also have renunciation. Gunotpattihi. Then Ananda Prakatana. Stotras, some stotras, no prayer, no saying you are this and that. I am so joyous at thinking of you. Where is it in Khandana? De langa ranga bhanga bhaje anga sanga mridanga. The devotees of Ramakrishna are dancing with joy. They cannot express enough to express the manifest their joy. That's why they are dancing. Bhaje yanga sanga mridanga. With all these things. Ananda Prakatana. They have to, we express our joy. This is also part of the stotras. It's wonderful. Every stotra must contain all these qualities. That is called Stotram. We are going to study the Dakshinamurty Stotram. I think I have given you more than enough food. If I give you more, then you will develop indigestion after half an hour. So I leave some space for that, and we will close this topic. 3 o'clock we meet here, and let us go and enjoy our lunch and be prepared. Also questions and answers. You know, Swami gave me a title, I still remember. We were at France. And he told me, I am a very questionable Swami. If you don't put questions, then he will be let down. So be careful. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhur Muhu.